I know that you're not following college basketball, and there's nothing really going on right now other than, say, at Indiana, all the players should be on campus, and the summer camp starts.
Mhm.
This is a maybe the most unique team Indiana has had. I guess I can't say ever because that's too much, but certainly not what fans are accustomed to because you've got a ton of new faces that are in that are not freshmen
Mhm.
that have come in from different places, whether it's Washington State, Stanford, Arizona, uh, even Bellarmine in Hatton, who played for a great coach in Scotty Ballard down at Bellarmine, who recently moved from Division II to Division I. But don't let that fool you because
Mhm.
Scotty has a great eye for talent and always has. But Indiana now with so many different pieces that should help them in every area. And everybody's guessing at starting lineups and this. And I'm like, how the hell can you guess at a starting lineup
Can't even
without
begin. Yeah.
seeing something? I don't know if, first of all, is Trey Galloway going to be able to start the season healthy because he's still recovering from his minor surgery? How much is that going to impact his ability to flawlessly step into the role needed? You've got two brand new guards that could be starters in Kanan Carlisle and Miles Rice.
Mhm.
Do they run together? Do you separate them? Is Mike Woodson going to stick with his two bigs routine and put Renew and Ballo on the floor at the same time? You've got a freshman and Bryson Tucker, a 5-star freshman. Is he ready to? Will he be ready to step in and do something that Malik or Mackenzie Mbako was not able to do as a freshman? So again, that's asking a lot. But
Mhm.
now you've also got Ja'Kai Newton, who
Yeah.
has been sitting on a bench for 2 years, basically, that we don't know much about. He's an X factor.
Mhm.
And you're adding a Luke Goody, who is a known shooter. Does Gabe Cups take a step up? Because if not, I don't see much of a role him if he
Sure.
doesn't. So there are so many questions without answers that everything that anybody says about this squad right now is a guess, although they are extraordinarily talented in all of these positions.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's probably gotta be the fun thing. There's something to guess about. Like like obviously you're not going to not have that in terms of people just talking about it and just trying to guess, but like that I guess makes it entertaining as you look at it. It's like I have no idea who they're going to start. Like when I look at this roster and just certainly obviously I watch them from a distance this year in terms of who they had and whatnot. And I don't know too much about these guys. I haven't seen them in AAU ball. I haven't been, in that world in a while. And I didn't watch a lot of Kanan Carlisle or Miles Rice. I didn't watch that much Pac-12 basketball this year. Saw a little bit of Luke Goody. Seen a good amount of Omar Ballo over the last couple years. Have a pretty good sense of what he's about. But all the same, like you don't know how it's going to shake out, and like it is trying to figure out how to. There's a lot of talent there, and trying to make it work is going to be interesting, and trying to create a system that works is going to be interesting. And so it's the biggest collection of talent that he's got. The top to bottom. There's a lot of guys that can contribute, and so it's like, okay, well, what does this look like? I mean, like to your point, I mean, like, okay, I have a hard time imagining that he's not going to play Ballo and Runu together. I just because I feel like ultimately Woodson's deal is you play the best 5 guys, and whoever the best 5 guys are, you figure out what to do after that. And so I have a hard time thinking that he's going to determine that Renew and Balor are not the best 5 guys. There is an argument. There's absolutely an argument to be made to separate them and to say, okay, like bring Renew off the bench or bring Balor off the bench and say, okay, like you're going to have sort of a second unit, and they're going to operate differently as centers. There's definitely an argument for that. What does that look like? How do you, space out those minutes? And so, I feel like you got to have them on the floor together for a while, because I don't think you're going to say them 20 and 20. You know, like, are you going to play your two best players 20 and 20? You know, that's a tough scenario there. Or are you playing one of them 25 and the other one 15? Are you going to play a guy, you know, either of Ballo or Renew's talent for only 15 minutes? You know, I don't see that. So we'll see. You know, I imagine there's going to be some overlap there. They'll probably play off of each other. You know, you're also going to figure, you know, in back row probably, you know, is best as a power forward. He's always going to have to play some 3 and some 4, you imagine. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot to work in. You know, where does Bryson Tucker get his minutes? You know, how much do you even get out of Langdon Hatton? You know, that seems like a guy who can help you, but like where and when? You know, like you have just a lot of guard options, and you don't know what's going to work out there. You know, again, like, where does Ja'Kai Newton get an opportunity? Where does Bryson Tucker get an opportunity? Where does Gabe Cupps get an opportunity? Are you starting Rice and Carlisle? Is that how it works? There's a lot going on, but, you know, like what has to happen, obviously, is they go play it out. You know, they go have a camp. You figure out, you know, through the course of camp, who are really your guys. And so we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, for those of you that think that Woodson has said that running 2 bigs is what he's going to do, that's not the case. He said he will look at it. He said that at Huber's just the other day. And he has to, because there are just too many options. And like Dustin just said, I mean, playing Renew and Ballo at the same time, I can definitely see the benefits, because that's tough to defend. But on the other hand,
it causes pain.
Yeah, but on the other hand, if you could have just somebody like that in there nonstop in the game, again, also difficult to defend, which you could do both of. And it depends on different things. It depends on, can Hatton do something? Can he come in, because he's the guy that can step out and shoot behind the 3 at 6'10", which is unusual. But how successful at this level, we have to wait and see. Do you run a 4 and 1 with 2 guards and a 3 and a 4 that are just smaller, a small ball type lineup? If you have the shooters, man, well, that's another option. There are just so many different options for him if the talent comes together. That's the question.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And it's not, you know, I mean, the tough part is, like, there are only 40 minutes in a basketball game, and there's only 1 ball, you know, and you are reminded that that's kind of how it works sometimes, is that you think, you know, you look at all this, like, you can do all this. Well, you can't actually play them all. You know, it's not like, okay, you have 12 guys that you can use, and that's a benefit, but you can only play 5 of them at once. And so it isn't always easy to determine, okay, you know, like, how are you going to do this? Like, you could technically do something different every game if you want to, technically, but it doesn't really work that way in terms of creating cohesiveness and coherence and having a sense of what you want to do and having a system. But no, he does have options. I mean, like, he can play smaller. He can, you know, have a 4 that spaces the floor. He has those options. You know, he can play big. But, you know, there's a lot of not easy decisions. I guess, you know, like, what he's created is a scenario where, all right, you compete and you play it out. And, you know, that's it. You know, he puts it on him to make the decisions in the moment in terms of what comes through, in terms of who his better players really are.
Hello, everybody. Jim Coyle with Indiana Sports Beat Radio, and thank you for enjoying our content and videos. And make sure you hit that subscribe and notifications toggle so you don't miss out on anything, whether it's Indiana Hoosiers, the Boilers, the Colts, the Pacers, Indiana high school action, whatever's happening in sports. We're trying to bring it all to you, and make sure you don't miss out on a thing. Again, hit the subscribe button for us. Helps us out a ton. We appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much.